Charmony Festival!
Hey!
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival.
Well, back in my homeworld, Anaria, we have festival.
Oh, come on! The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-Amber-era event.
Well, you never know, right? Maybe you'll... Anyway, let's forget about that.
Unsettling things? What could possibly go wrong?
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of...
Oh, that's a relief. Well, looks like I won't get any fudging clues out of these two. Locked and loaded.
Face recognition.
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family.
Hello. So, there's something do you think there's anything to be worried about? I've traveled...
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're complete. At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time.
That's a relief. She doesn't appear to be acting. Back already?
Hasn't she returned yet?
Nope. I'm starting to wonder. Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in the dreamscape, and
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the oak... I walked around the hotel, but didn't meet a single...
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly,
We shouldn't linger here too...
not so fast. Have you ever robbed VIPC? Bro?
Are you suggesting we sit here and do nothing?
I wouldn't say do nothing. But let's stay put for now. Even if the family has... they don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so...
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factor.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper.
A secret signal.
That's right.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you.
I'm sorry. But it's one of my quirks. I have too many.
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play. You're the lobby manager.
Yes, I am.
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but there's something wrong with yours? Now, we've been waiting here forever, without any food or water. What the fork, man?
Is this your idea of...
It's called standing.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll arrange to...
Sick.
Just don't call yourself...
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of his...
Has Donna's White Oak.
Oh, no way.
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all.
That's strange. Well, could it be that the memo keeper couldn't have...
Then what should we do now?
No need to rush. Well, let's grab some drinks first. Let's see what kind of juice malts you all have here.
Wow, that's the most expensive.
It's on...
What can I get for it?
Anything you recommend is fine.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboon juice. It's refreshing and...
This flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot. True.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that...
As long as you're satisfied.
Let's give the memo keeper another half-system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position of power within the family must be covering it up. It's unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools. If what you said about the Emanator of the Nihility is true...
Actually, there's something else I'm concerned about. As you know, the faction that follows the path of the Hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with. I mean, isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that the Rainbow Sect lets their Lux arrow do all
Talking. Do all the talking.
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the galaxy with that Acheron lady, she doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary, she's highly logical and organized. She knows exactly...
And you believe that someone like her would have an ulterior motive for impersonating a Galaxy Ranger?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do have my...
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within them, unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that...
Maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. People do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abet, but eons don't.
You think Shipei's will...
It may not necessarily be Shipei. It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always followed.
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Oh, so you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for their own choices because they're...
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just... It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that that's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the memo keeper doesn't...
You sure have a lot of cards up your sleeve.
Well, going back to my old career would make things... By the way, when you were walking around the hotel...
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the family. Or maybe we can even take their identities.
No need for that. Well,
Wait. Are you getting scared?
Are you leaving, esteemed guests?
Huh? As Donna's White Oak.
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit intoxicated, esteemed guest.
looks like your memo keeper friend has finally...
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, I'll be waiting for you on the
No mistake. That's her message to you.
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back to the astral...
You're back? Two guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Oh, just...
2 guests?
Yeah, or 2. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express.
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Peniconia, the Nameless are the only ones we can truly trust right now.
You are the memo keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meet.
Finally, memo keeper. Well, let's cut to the chase.
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Black Swan, and I serve the Garden of Recollection as a memo keeper. As for I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag!
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping. And the process was far from...
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely, all of you.
Trustworthy? Son of a nice lady. How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what's...
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options? What do you mean?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's safety. I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger is requesting...
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat, and seems...
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Donhung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed, I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise. To return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every rainfall is like a gift from the raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. Their constant pouring is a reminder that the gods haven't abandoned us yet. So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually stop. Looks like the god you mentioned doesn't exist after all. Well, mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean. And for some, their presence leaves such a strong mark.
Like those shadows on the ocean.
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstriders, they emerge from the depths of IX. They emerge from the nihility and head toward it, leading purposeless. They were once my dear companions.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. It was a brutal war. A crusade that the unwavering determination of the Hunt followers. As for me, I've suffered too many losses on that battlefield.
But you know, these sin-thirsters.
Does this seem... Well, some tasks have to be done, even if they are...
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the nihility.
I see. After all, this realm... Thank you, stranger. I wish that you found...
Before we part ways, I have one more question. It is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem if this is what the departed ones expected.
A good question. And a profound... What I do know is that one day, someone will stand at my grave
appeared as a child. My speech, mindset, and as I grew into adulthood.
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of Shipe.
Come to me, my kinship. I have sought their presence with...
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony out of laziness. I lied and claimed that everything was ready.
Do you sincerely repent and vow to change your ways?
Yes.
Have you examined your soul?
Oh.
Are you willing to... Very well. Show your dedication and goodwill to the family.
Oh, praise Shipe.
Next.
I wholeheartedly confess to you. Please.
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us. As long as you are...
Oh, great. You know, I arrived in Pen...
I see.
My children were starving, and I hoped they'd have a chance at survival. But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting me down.
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll ask the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll work my hardest to...
Next.
Hey! Long time no see, Mr. Sunday. The most esteemed and...
I have sought their presence with us. Let us...
Sure. Let's just get this over with. I have sinned. That's it. Nothing more.
Do you seek to atone for your sin?
My sins? Well, starting to sound like a... You think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the... Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Well, I've spent enough time in confession...
Oh, revered triple-faced soul, hear my doubts. Who can judge the strong when their power hides their... Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay any price? Who can comfort the purest souls when even if the strong defending the weak, then who?
Brother? Brother, are you all right?
I'm fine. I've been working long hours, and I just made a trip to Dreamflux Reef.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the stuff...
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony...
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so even if the negotiation does not go smoothly, I'll refuse to go on stage.
I'm relieved to see your determination. You know, since arriving in Peniconia, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself. I'd heard of the heads of the
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master in years, Mr.
Let's hope we can reach a consensus.
Indeed.
It's about time. We'll have to get ready for the meeting.
Don't worry. I'll be waiting here.
Oh, dear. It's Mr. Sunday! Hey! Come over here! Oh, Mr. Sunday. Hey there! Okay, see the moon in the sky? If I just reached out my hand, I could grab the moon, couldn't I?
The moon? You mean the grand...
Yeah. Look at me. I've been away from home, but it's no big deal. The Grand Theater here looks They told me not to sell everything I had just to come to
Selling everything you had? Why would you go to such lengths?
Why? Can't you see? Life back home is miserable. It's not really... It's better to be here at Peniconia. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams. You can do whatever you want. That's what I call living.
Is this truly living?
Huh? What did you say, young lady? I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, it's nothing, sir. You see...
Oh, yeah, that's... See you around, Mr. Sunday.
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. But why do the man we ran into... He doesn't seem... Even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him, they're the only way to survive, even if it means giving up on reality.
I suppose you have a point. But...
Why do you say that?
You think that man is not actually living. But that's not quite accurate. People believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power. However, value doesn't come out of thin air. And there's a limit to it. To accumulate value, people have to take from others.
Are you suggesting that this is not how things should be?
Exactly. But, ironically, people survival of the fittest. That's where no tragedies exist here. Only happiness. Although in its nascent...
Perhaps that man is just an exception.
Yes. Seeing is believing.
Glad to meet you again, Robin. How are the preparations for the...
It's going smoothly. Thanks for...
You're too kind, Robin. It's a pleasure to have guests from...
I can't stand being lonely or bored, so this jubilant dreamscape...
But if this went on forever, would it get...
Nah, not at all. Every day, you get to wear fancy clothes, explore all sorts of dream bubbles, indulge.
But you know that only a few things can be brought back from the dreamscape to reality, right?
That's exactly why I don't plan on bringing anything back. Just enjoying the dream itself is good enough for me. I mean, I'm not one of those long-living only in this sweet dream can I truly feel like I'm in control of my life and fate. Who would want to go back to reality?
I see.
And I wish you a fantastic...
Seems like that guest's perspective...
She had a valid point. I could sense her genuine happiness.
What you're trying to say is, she thinks she's in control of her life. But in reality, she's just escaping from reality.
Well, she did make mention of being able to afford a room.
However, the paradise in our dream...
No, and the paradise we yearn for shouldn't be just a fleeting dream either. The scenery in this dreamscape is truly breathtaking, isn't it?
Oh, Robin. Can't believe I'm meeting you in person. You're right. Even though time stands still in this dreamscape, it always feels fresh.
A philosophical mind. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all. No. With little time left, I yearn for meaningful conversations, especially with someone as...
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just speak your mind. You said with little time.
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sarkosian mothership, I got exposed to some... And then, all my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. I couldn't bear to live with everything I knew gone.
How heart-wrenching.
They have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room, the most advanced life support devices in the cosmos, and my physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and no different from any other my true appearance. Now, I hope you never have to witness.
So, you'll be living forever?
Just being able to live at all is good enough for me. Whether my world has been torn apart, and my life could end any second. So, even if this whole place is an illusion, it's...
That old man's story. It's so tragic.
That's precisely why this sweet dream...
However, even this sweet dream has its limitations.
There will be a way out.
Look what we have here. A lovely young lady. Brother, what a surprise to see you again.
Show yourself. Your trick will...
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation too.
Barely. The people here are way too gullible. A little bait is all it takes.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to leave before it's...
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how you should be thanking me. Because if it weren't for me cleaning up this mess...
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family, and it has nothing to do with...
The Charmony Festival? You think you can scare me? I don't care what you're thinking, Chicken Wing Boy. Peniconia, the land of the dreams.
Stop it.
What's the rush, Chicken Wing Boy?
Our paradise is none of your concern, masked fool. Leave now, or the family won't tolerate you anymore.
All right. I'll go. But Robin, I suggest, do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain and find... Well, I've done my part. And now here, the last 2 gifts for both of you. And don't lose them. If by some... And it'll be thrilling.
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon. Let's wait here.
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. That seems like a lot has changed during my absence.
Well, someone has to stay awake.
But that someone doesn't have to be you, or anyone in particular. The paradise in our dreams. Peniconia is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this dream, he might have completely lost himself.
That might be true, but even without Peniconia, that path may have been more ordinary and challenging. But now, is Peniconia granting these people a future? Or is it...
Well, don't forget, the future for humanity is like the sky for... Do you remember how we took in that...
Yeah, we took care of it.
Well, I didn't met shortly after you left. It crashed to its death right in front.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages. They belong in the sky.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. however, only a few. That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and even...
That's just sophistry. If that were true, then only the powerful would have the right to determine the future.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, the majority of some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances. Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal. And the weak can only...
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have...
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong, and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long...
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you, my brother...
People often forget that when the first bird took flight, the entire... No more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
Are you reading, sister?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture book. If I could become a Chordmaster, I'd like to summon...
I see.
Don't you have a wish of your own?
Of course I do. It's just that it includes your...
Then let's build a stage there and invite everyone to our performance.
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Maybe you'll have to.
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to...
Since he's already carried out, but pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude? But you have the numbers.
Got any more encouraging work?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Peniconia is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stable...
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron. But the problem is, on the eve of the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the... So, no one's gonna say anything? What's that supposed to mean? So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a... As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of So, how do we go about... I've already procured special invite tickets. To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the audition.
So they're still running this thing, huh?
We'll follow Marge's plan.
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As the
Should we ever cross paths again? I'd love for you...
All right. I'll have to...
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and stuff...
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Peniconia.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone.
Oh, wow, they've really outdone themselves.
Behold, here come 4 friends with spirit high and full of steel. Yes, you! There's no doubt about it,
Excuse me, you 4. What are you hoping to get out of all?
As the last group of contestants, how confident are you in overcoming all of it?
Would you be open to a brief exclusive interview with us?
Your journey is long and...
The sword and rose!
A knight's head is hard as steel. Brother Lance focused.
People are pouring in. Kinda feels like all sorts of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, make way. Make way. Coming towards us now is one of... Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the director of Soulglad's factory.
Hello, everybody. I'm Himiko.
Don't you guys need to... Can't hide it anyways. Peniconia is plastered with our posters. And because the Astral Express is so well... don't expose my net handle to everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm March 7th. Hello, everyone. I'm Firefly. I am...
So it's a bunch of nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to...